Hello everyone, welcome back to ZK Adventure, and this is episode 30, and this is level 221 Heist, which is one of the last levels, excuse me, one of the last levels of ZK3 Damnation. I have absolutely nothing good to say about this level. If you kind of pinpointed it at the end of the last video, you might have noticed there was like a little tiny noticeable cut that was made evident. I tried to make it as least evident as possible, but no one seemed to really mention it, but it might have been noticeable anyway. That's because this is my fourth attempt at this level, recording this level, and only this level alone. As you can see, I have not proceeded to the next level whatsoever. I haven't skipped, I haven't done anything like that. I do not, and I preach this, I do not like this level at all. I want to say, aside from Nails from ZK2, this has to be my least favorite level of the whole, out of all 220 levels I've played so far in this set. This has to be my least favorite level out of everything I've played so far. Minus that one level in ZK1 where it was intentionally skippable. I believe that it is an actual level, but I already made it clear to Zane I do not plan on solving it. I have tried to solve the level, by the way, and I've gotten pretty close, but one day I'll get lucky. Anyway, the whole theme with this level is you have these teeth monsters, you have this beginning part, which you have to lure these guys, or this guy rather, to hold the trap button down for you so you can break into a specific part of this quote-unquote building that you're planning this heist for, apparently. And I've played this level so many times that I've realized that this is actually semi-busted, and that you can totally beat this level with just two teeth monsters via this section here, and holding on to the blue key that you get in the beginning area. And this section I don't really like much. The tooth monsters don't seem to want to cooperate with this room. I think it's just how the squares are shaped with this, honestly. But because this allows for a shortcut, I'm not really going to complain too much about this part, because I absolutely love the shortcut. It makes this a very less painful experience. Now let's talk about this part. This part is like the death of me. I do not, and I repeat, do not like this part of the level. The whole part of this is this brown button you're forced to push a block onto, thus it holds it down, even though it doesn't really need to be held down. I actually like the fact that it is held down, but that's just me. It holds down that trap button, and which connects to a pink ball on a trap that presses a toggle button press once, or toggle button once, and opens up that room of fireballs, and the fireballs unleash and flood this whole freaking area. And you are under a very tight time pressure to establish a path for the fireballs to go in this room right here, which is too small for all these fireballs to be in. There's 18 fireballs total, and I think there's only 14 spaces in this whole room. Plus, I think plus the force floor makes 15. So not every fireball is going to get in that room, which has led to this topic. I don't care, not topic, but this opinion. The time pressure is one thing. The tight room that you guide the fireballs to, and I know the timer's going. I have plenty of time to beat this level though. The time pressure of this chase scene is fine. I like that. That's cool. The aesthetics of the green key and chip checkerboard thing, I find that pretty cool too. It's actually kind of deceiving in Lynx. I haven't played it in Lynx, but I imagine it's a lot easier to do in Lynx, if not harder. I don't know. I haven't played it. But I don't like the fact that there's this many fireballs. I think 4 or 5 could have been gone, or at least 2 or 3 at the very least. 18 is, in my honest opinion, way too much. I actually had to open this level up in the editor and ghost this section just to establish some kind of path I can take and still beat the level without dying by a fireball, or a fireball screwing me over in the very last room, which they can very easily get into. Which I think they have no choice but to ultimately go to, but I don't know. So this is the path I have discovered. So to go do this, there's that little gap, and I can collect all these guys right here, except those 3 right here I'm skipping deliberately. And told there's about 3 or 4 fireballs left, and they do a little collision like that, which again is another big hindrance to this level. But as you can see, not every single one. Oh, another one went in. I don't think a... Okay, another one went in too. So I have 3 fireballs left out here. And they're going to follow me into this room right here, but I think 3 is okay because there's 3 bombs right there, and they can blow up 2, and then I have enough time to blow up the last one. So we're gonna let them do their dirty work. And I guess the other one's not coming. It better not ambush me. I'm not gonna be a happy person. That is Heist. That is the first time I have beaten this level. Across 4 different recording attempts and probably over an hour and a half of gameplay alone on this level, I have finally beaten it. I don't like the fact I had to open this level up in the editor and establish a path for that would just work. I feel like that was forced. I don't know for sure. That doesn't feel like something you can establish through gameplay alone, especially when it's that far into the level. I know the level's not that long technically, but after a while it drags on. After multiple attempts, it drags on quite a bit, and it brings the player down pretty badly. That's honestly why I haven't recorded this set since like 2 weeks ago, because I played this level the first time as part of the previous recording session. I almost said recording that's kind of weird. I played it as part of the last video, and I had to cut the whole thing out, and it was like half the video at least, because I was just stumped on it, and I raged pretty hard on this level initially, and then I did 2 more recording attempts prior to this one, and I finally beat it. I have nothing against Zane's preferences and level tastes or anything like that. I like the idea with this level, but it's nothing I haven't seen done before. There's been plenty of other levels like this with the whole alarm type system. There's been Security Breach in CCLP 2, Triple Alarm in CCLP 3, 1, maybe 2 in CCLP 1, and I think Nuclear Energy for Dummies in CCLP 4 qualifies as 1 as well. All those did it in very different ways, and this one definitely did it in a very different way as well. But I can't help but feel like this was a very tedious approach. And I'm not really one to hold execution against the level designer, because everyone has their own unique and different way in executing a different concept, or a concept in general. And I can't really hold how the level designer designs a level against the level, because everyone's different. Everyone could, like Zane did it this way, I could do it differently, Jeffrey could probably do it differently, JB can probably do it differently, and the whole experience would be different just because of who designed it. I can't hold that against Zane or the level at all, and I refuse to do that. I will never hold execution styles against a level, regardless of the level or how the level makes me feel. That will never be a reason I hate a level or anything like that. I think the approach, however, with the fireball chase part, I think that could have been done with a few less fireballs. I get it was supposed to be difficult. I respect the fact that it was supposed to be difficult, and it was certainly difficult. Zane definitely accomplished that. But it just felt like on top of the time pressure, it just seemed like nothing worked. And with the amount of space the fireballs had to go to, it just felt like an impossible scenario. Clearly, it was possible, but it just felt like that, and I don't really like that part of it. In the beginning, the only thing I like about this level is the shortcut. Like, I found that shortcut, and I was like, oh, thank God there is a shortcut in this level, because if I had to get all 3 blue keys or like that in that one section and guide all 3 teeth monsters around the whole level on the top, I did that in the very first recording attempt because I didn't notice the bust, but yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about this because it's dragged on. I'm finally done with this level, and we can move on to shuffling. I have been waiting and waiting for this day to come to play this level again. If you know me, and you've known, especially the CCL4 staff specifically, and Zane as well, since he's obviously designed the level, maybe a couple others, I don't know, but I have a really, really, really strong passion for this level. I absolutely like it. Love it. I really wish I got into CCL4. So, I actually think this is a different version. I think this is a quote-unquote less rigid version, because apparently there were a couple of spots in the original, the CCL4 voting version that had rigid spots. I personally never saw them, but anyway. So this is shuffling, everybody, and it's full in glory. Since it didn't get into CCL4, let's play it here. This level sucks. Screw you, Zane. To you it might, but to me, this is a masterpiece. Now, why do I like this level so much? Like, what exactly about this level makes me love it as much as I do? Okay, initially, I will point out that I think 2 of the blocks here in this room initially had pop-up walls under them, and I think that was part of the reason why it didn't get into CCL4. But I don't remember for sure. I know pushover was preferred, and I have admittedly grown to pushover, but I still don't really care for that level. And it's not because of the whole shuffling thing. Okay, that still has a pop-up wall under it. Okay, so this part, you have to use the blocks to get this fireball out. I have the blue key, so I have access to another block. Which I need. Well, I can free the fireball technically, but we're just going to do it this way. I think another issue this level had in the CCL4 voting version was the time limit, but that could have been very easily fixed. Okay, so now I can press this, and the fireball's just going to go bounce back and forth as such. So once it... Actually, I think I want to do this. Just to clarify, I haven't played this level since the CCL4 voting, so it's been a while. But I clearly remember it enough to remember the solution. Okay, so we have this little Sokoban here, which isn't hard, but lets me get fire boots, which lets me cross this fire spot. And I think what I want to do next is take this block and form a nail right there, and I can use this block to hold that down, which opens up this toggle door. Now this toggle button has 2 presses. I already did it once. I actually don't know if you actually have to hold that down though. That might have been a mistake. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And then we have this room, which is an avalanche section, which I didn't expect to see in this level when I first played it. So the trick with this room is you have to fill in this water spot. And I think that alone took me a long time to figure out. I can put one there. Hey, why did I push the block up for? I don't think I was supposed to do that. Let me see what I can do back here now, though. Okay, I can't do nothing. Okay, the blue key. Yeah, I screwed up the level somehow. I think I pushed a block up when I wasn't supposed to. Okay, so let's try this again. So while we get back to that part, part of the reason why I really like this level is it's mostly because of my personal solving experience. Like, and I know that can't really be a factor in inclusion for a voting or a factor for inclusion in an official set. I am very well aware of that, and I tried not to have that be my main reason to want it in CCLP4. In fact, I don't think I ever stated that was a reason why I wanted it in CCLP4. I'm not sure what this pop-up wall is used for. I never had to use it, and I don't think I really need to use it here either. But let's just get rid of it because it bothers me. But I loved figuring this level out. Like, once I figured it out, I just like completely fell in love with the whole level. Like, it was just, it's not a masterpiece. I think that's a major exaggeration, but I'm always gonna feel like this level got robbed out of CCLP4 just because of one person's opinion or a couple people's opinions. I don't really know. I know a couple of the I know a few members of the CCLP4 staff like this level too and wanted it to be in the set, and the rest just had either no opinion or a strong disagree opinion. Okay, so let's actually not hold this down. Let's just press it, because there's no reason to hold that trap button down. But my personal solving experience with this level was absolutely phenomenal. And just the way it all connects together, I think is really brilliantly put together, honestly. Like, I think that got really undermined from the staff, or, well, not the staff, but some people on the staff. It really got undermined. Like, I don't know. Like, I loved how everything connected together. And I do not know for the life of me what to do with this block. I don't remember. I know the pop-up wall is used for later. I know that much. And I know I need to get 3 blocks. Or wait, do I only need to... wait, hold on. No, I need to put that there. Okay. Okay, I think that's what I do for now. I think that's what I do. Okay, then I get the last chip. Okay, so I can go back. Now that I have the blue key, I can go back over here, and I can get a block right here. Actually, I can get 2. I think this is another part I really liked. You actually have to use both these blocks, which I thought was a really awesome twist. I think one person on the staff didn't agree with that, but I don't remember who, and I honestly don't remember why that's a reason to really dislike the level when it's kind of obvious. I mean, I have no hard feelings towards anyone who dislikes this level at all. Like, I don't want people to think like, oh, you know, you're just, you know, feeling sorry for yourself or whatever. Okay, I think I did screw it up. How do I get that block though? I can get it out that way now, but what do I do from here? Like, I can go back in here, and you might think I can solve this, but I actually can't because I have to form a nail right here. So I really need 4 blocks in this room instead of 3. So let's restart this again and figure this out. I kind of wish the pop-up walls that were under the blocks here were kept for this version, because it made the extraction of the blocks here a little bit more interesting. But I could see how that was a little unfair. Oh, I completely messed that up. But yeah, just this. I just love how this level all just connects together at the end. Like, I think it's pretty brilliantly set up. I think with the... Okay, I didn't do that earlier. I think with the... if the changes that were proposed for this level were made to be included in CISO before, I do believe it had a fair chance to be in the set. In fact, I honestly feel like this CISO before really needed a level like this anyway, because again, not even this level in particular, just a level like this. Like, there's a couple other levels that were Sokoban oriented, like that I thought we're gonna get into the set initially, but didn't. Let's see. Okay, do that. Okay, so I do that. Oh, I go around to push this block. Okay, that makes more sense. That makes way more sense. Then I use this. Then I push that. Push this over here. Stock it up there somewhere just to make sure it doesn't get screwed over. And then I can keep that block at bay right there, and then I can open this up. And then I fit blocks in here. Like, there was a level, what was it called? I think Flock of Block from RGP1 was another one that was fairly high rated in CSL4 voting, but didn't really get considered for the set because it was just nothing but Sokobans, apparently. I wasn't a big fan of the level, but I do appreciate what the level accomplished. Okay, so now I got all 4 blocks in here. So let's get them in here. Let's see. This puzzle, I have to admit, I do agree it is a tad bit rigid. I will give it that. If I have to say, I know rigidness was one of the biggest issues from this being excluded from the final set, but it made it sound like the entire level was rigid. I don't think the entire level is. I do believe this one is a tad bit rigid, but I think the solution and how it plays out is still pretty cool, if I can remember how to do it. I think what I want to do is I want to set the nail up here and push that there. Okay, so I have to push that there like that. This is where the whole you can't solve it right away part comes in, because you have to go back and push the block out, or back in the room, essentially. Basically out of the corner. Which I really like that twist. Like, the twist is pretty well put together. So you have to use these 2 blocks And at first I thought this level was busted and that you didn't need to use these blocks, but the fact they are still part of the solution is pretty clever. This is the cleverness I am talking about. I seriously hope this gets into CCLP5 someday. Like, CCLP4 might be over and all that, but I have not given up on this level. Like, that will not change. Okay, now I get the final block, push it there, and I can exit. A fantastic level, if you ask me. In terms of CCLP4, though, I am 100% over it. I feel like a lot of people think I'm not, because I get jokes every once in a while that, oh, you know, shuffling, like this and that with shuffling, blah 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 blah. Like, yeah, it's evident I really like this level. Yes, I wanted it in CCLP4. Yes, I still want it in an official set someday. But I mean, come on. I mean, everyone has that one level they really want to see in the set, and this was the one for me. I mean, like, that's not going to change, but when it comes to CCLP4, I am over it. I do think it still could have fit in with the final set. I just think at that point it got personal, and that's where the whole debate started really affecting me, and that's kind of where I kind of drove away from the staff for a while, because it just felt like a bunch of personal attacks. And not to say they were or anything, it's just me as... It's because of how I am. The way my brain works and the way my mindset works is I interpret a lot of things, even when they're not. I interpret a lot of things as personal attacks. It's just how I am as a person. It's just how I grew up, and it's been an issue all my life. It's nothing against anyone in particular. That's just how I am as a person. And every day it's a struggle to try to overcome it and get over it. And some days are harder than others. And being on the CCLP4 staff definitely took a toll in that regard. But those days are over, and I have no intentions on being on the CCLP5 staff. But you never know, something might happen. But as far as today is concerned, I do not plan on being on the CCLP5 staff whatsoever. Okay, this is Warpaint. Can Josh find his way around a campo? Each section contains one chip. So this is basically the last level of ZK3 Damnation, and I have to say this is quite a level. It's kind of all over the place. And that tapping noise is a noise. What's the mute function for Tile World? I don't remember. Wait, what's the mute function on my keyboard? Hold on. Alt F1. Hold on a second. Okay. I just muted the sound. I don't think that really matters to anyone. If it does, sorry. I'm doing you a favor. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, this is like the ultimate level of ZK3 Damnation. It's gone through quite a few revisions. I know this level used to have like 20-ish chips or something like that, and it's now divided into sections. I think it was always divided into sections, but the way it was handled, it felt like a very guessworky-ish level, but I think it's improved. I haven't played it since, again, CCLP4 voting, because a lot of ZK3 levels got into voting. I think this blue button connects to the block cloner, but I'm not completely sure. Okay, so the trap button is held down and we can go past here. Now we have this rather cool looking Sokoban, which I think is actually pretty simple, if I remember it right. Let's see if I actually remember this. Oh yeah, the trick is that little spot right there. Okay, now how do you get these guys? So the leftmost block obviously goes to the leftmost trap right there. Can't go nowhere else. So now I think it's just a matter of pushing the rest of these to the designated trap buttons. Okay, so now they are all covered. This section up here is pretty unique. I have to admit, this is a pretty unique section, and it's not guesswork at all. The path to the flippers is actually pretty straightforward, because everywhere else just leads to dead ends, and why would you want to go to a dead end? Okay, so we got the flippers now, so we can go this way, which we could go back up there, but I don't really see a real need to, so let's just unlock that and blow this bomb up. Okay, so now we can go down there, but do we want to do that? I think that's the only option we have. Okay, so what do we got here? Force side, which we can do that. It's kind of a little nerve-wracking to do that, but so we blow this bomb up first, go around, blow that up, and then do that. There are pop-up walls underneath those blocks, which is A+. And we go around here, collect a single chip, and I don't remember if we actually want to go down that way or not. I don't think we have much of an option. I think we can go either back into this room, which everything looks the same, or we can go down here, which we get a yellow key for doing. And we can go right here to press this trap button, which I don't know what that does. I think going right is a bad idea, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so now I can actually go in here. I have a yellow key, so I can go this way and collect 2 more. And now I can go right through the teleport, which lets me go right here. Which lets me get that chip, and that's all I can do here. Okay. So what else can I do? I can collect this now, which lets me go left in the teleport. And I can get this. And go back there. Now it's just this part right here. So I lose my flippers, and we have a little bit of a bridging puzzle. Which is actually rather confusing. I think I can do this. So do I want to push that to the bottom left, or do I want to go... I think I want to go... Where do I want to go with this? Okay, I think I want to do that. And then I can go left from this way. Okay, then I can do this, do that, and that. Get that chip. A really well put together block pushing puzzle here. I really like it. Okay, I'm starting to think maybe I was actually supposed to go to the right there. I remember initially that was a bad idea, or a wrong move in the original level. But it looks like Zane tweaked that to make it fair, even though I expected it not to be that way. Okay, so there wasn't anything I can really do. I was basically cooked. So we gotta do this again. Which kind of sucks, but I actually kind of like this level. It's definitely a lot better than what it was before. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot as well. And that as well. Oh, really? That's not nice. Yeah, playing this in with no sound is quite awkward, but it's hopefully not too much of an issue. So overall, I think this is a pretty well put together level. It's definitely gone through a lot of refinements since its creation, but I think this is a pretty solid level now. I really like it. It's a little misleading in some places, and there's definitely some spots in the level that are a little too demanding for my personal taste, but that's not really saying it's a bad level. I mean, compared to Heist, I mean, come on. I'm honestly surprised I was able to complete Heist. Okay, so do that. Get this guy right there. Do that. I like this Sokoban quite a bit as well. Oh, I thought my cat was touching my foot. I realize this is a long video again. Well, maybe it's about a normal length video, maybe a little bit longer than the usual runtime. But look at it this way: if you or anyone you know watches like stuff on Hulu or Netflix or anything like that, you might realize that most hour-long shows on those things are roughly oh, I forgot to get the red key. I could take a little shortcut to go back. It's pretty cool. Like watch the hour-long shows on any of those programs. It's worth noting that it's about the runtime of these videos, the normal runtime at least, is about the same as a normal episode, hour-long episode of anything on one of those two programs. Okay, so let's go press that, and we're gonna go this way. Press that, which I think is what led to that that section. Yeah, so I can go up in the teleport now. So let's see what we got here. Just a simple bug dodging thing. Nothing crazy. Okay, ice maze. Okay, a green key, which lets me go in here, get one of the last chips. And then I can go in here and get the true last chip. So let's see if I can actually remember this. So I want to go this way, this way, this way, this way. That block I don't really use. Go down here. Bridge right there. Push that up. And then I use that block, that block, that block, that, and that. And there we go. I like these blocks these blocks that are set up like this in here. It makes it look like you have more blocks to use, even though you actually can't use those at all. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, and we are off to the exit, which we get some flippers for some reason, and there we go. War paint is done. And with that, we are officially done with ZK3 Damnation, everybody. That was a pretty wild setup of the last three levels. I did not expect Heist to take as long as it took me. Even though on video it didn't take me long, but in reality, that was almost 2 hours of solve time. Like, with every failed recording video I've made for that level alone, that was roughly almost 2 hours, if not longer. I still stand by my opinion though on that. I didn't care for it. Could have used less fireballs, like, at least. I've stated my thoughts on shuffling. I still love the level to death. Still a top-notch, fantastic level in my eyes. Yeah, I can go on and on about shuffling, but I'm refraining myself from doing that. Like, if you know me, you know how much I like shuffling. That's all I'm gonna say. And in Warpaint, I kind of already knew how to solve the level beforehand because I've played the level in a lot of different forms, and it honestly felt like it didn't feel the same. There were obviously differences and easier sections than others, but my experience with Warpaint throughout its existence has been, I've known most about the level already, so that's why I solved it as quick as I did, or didn't take as long to solve it as one might have expected me to take on it. But I still liked Warpaint. I think it was a pretty good last level for ZK3 Damnation. Definitely pretty good stuff. But with all that being said, we are going to end the video off right here, and we are going to take on ZK3 Abandon in the next video, or the levels of ZK3 Abandon, which is, I believe, the next 40 levels. So all that being said, we will see you guys in the next video.